Hey, it's Everyday Economics, the podcast that helps you learn about the economic world happening around you every day. I'm your host, Chris Krug, president of the 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan Franklin News Foundation. Everyday Economics is a production of America's Talking Network. You can check it out along with all of our other great podcasts at americastalking.com. To support Everyday Economics, please make your tax-deductible charitable contribution by clicking the link in the show description. We are recording today's episode on Tuesday, June 27th, and joining me, as always, my friend, the one and only Dr. Orphe Divounguy. He's a PhD economist. Hey, Dr. O, we talk about what's in the news most of the time, and I think that that's important. I mean, we're not just chasing headlines. We're trying to get in front of them. We're trying to give people just some insight as to, what is in the news and what it means to them or what it could mean to them, and maybe how to, just not necessarily personal finance decisions they could make based on what's going on. We're not financial advisors. I'm not even trying to be the next Dave Ramsey, and neither are you. We're not trying to do that. But we do like to talk about things that matter in personal economics. We probably don't do this as often as we would like because we've been chasing a lot of headlines. But I want to talk about compounding interest, and not to pick on Starbucks because there are plenty of other places where you can get a cup of coffee. I'm not telling you not to go to Starbucks. I'm not telling you to go to Starbucks. You go get your coffee wherever you want to get your coffee. But that $4 coffee that you're buying every day on the way to work, if you were to put that $4 into some kind of an investment and somehow, some way supplemented that coffee somewhere else inside of your personal spending, that $4 cup of coffee could be worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to you over the life of saving and investing.
Exactly. I mean, look, with compound interest, you're not just earning interest on your principal balance, right? So like, let's say, I put in, $700 a year on coffee, or, $28 a week or whatever, right? You're not just earning interest on the principal balance, whatever it is you've invested. Your interest is earning interest, right? Your interest is earning interest. You're making your money work for you. And again, I don't give financial advice. I'm just speaking fact. And the fact is that you're leaving money on the table when you are not investing. You got to be invested. And so when people say, I saw this really interesting post on LinkedIn yesterday, and by the way, that post went viral. I don't know, thousands of people shared it, liked it, whatever. The LinkedIn influencer basically said, hey, no big deal. Don't sweat it. Your $3 a day coffee, iced latte, I think he was referring to, which 3 pounds, he was talking pounds. But anyway, $4.85 is your iced latte at Starbucks. He's basically saying, look, a year worth of that is not going to be, it's going to be something like, I think it was 7,200 pounds, which is not enough to a down payment on a house, is what he said. And I thought, man, first of all, you have all kinds of products out there, mortgage products out there. So you can put as low as 3% on a house these days. So yes, you could still get a house for that kind of money.
You also, on the consumer level, you can go out for $79 and buy yourself a, Krug K-cup.
You don't have to wait online. I think what people are missing here is this concept of opportunity cost. It's not just, right, the $7,200 a year, whatever that it's costing you. It's everything else you're leaving on the table. First, there's that wait on the queue at Starbucks, which sometimes can be a little ridiculous. But it's also that,
if you're in the drive-thru, you're burning $4.50 a gallon gas waiting for your turn to come up.
That's right. And then it's the return on those dollars that could have been invested, right? And I did the simple math. I mean, if you're spending $28 a week on coffee at something like 7% return, right? Rate of return, including taxes and everything, that's, the next 10 years, that's almost $15,000. Not, whatever that number was, $7,200 or whatever that, right? So it's $15,000, right? So you could get 10 years worth of free coffee if you had invested those $28 a week, and so that's the thing people are missing.
Here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe that's just I like a deal. But I shop for our family on Sunday mornings. My youngest daughter and I go, and we make it an economic exercise, especially around common products. And I've got her looking at it, like, how much is that on a price per ounce basis? And okay, pick the best one, the best value. Find the best value here. I bought coffee this weekend, and coffee prices are high, a lot higher than they were, 3 years ago. I would say in that segment. Now, the deal that I get $9.99 for I don't know what you'd call it, like a tin of coffee. I used to be able to get it on sale for $4.99. Now I'm getting it on sale for $9.99. So it's like literally the price of my brand, free advertising for my friends at Hills Brothers. But my Hills Brothers coffee that I get in the tin, which is pretty good coffee, used to cost me half on sale of what it costs me on sale now. But I go through a tin of that coffee like once every 2 weeks. So my out-of-pocket coffee costs at home for not just me, but my wife and my mom who lives with us. She likes to drink coffee too. The three of us go through a tin of coffee in about a week and a half. And so let's just say that it's a stressful week and I'm drinking more coffee than I would normally be drinking. And it's a tin of coffee a week. It's a $10 a week habit versus a $30 a week habit. I mean, that alone is and again, it's folded into my overall grocery costs. I'm not going out. I'm not wasting time. I'm not exposing myself to additional sales tax because I'm paying for the service of having it handed to me and brewed by somebody else. It adds up. We don't give personal investment advice. What's the greater point you're trying to make here?
The greater point is it's all about time invested. It's really, it's all about investing and making sure really, maybe point one should be think about the stuff you're leaving on the table, right? This concept of opportunity cost, right? And it's making it really simple for most people is stuff. What are you leaving on the table? What are you leaving on? Count all the costs, right? It's not just the sticker price. The $4.80 or whatever, in the last, if you have been investing since 2019, the stock market, the S&P 500 increased by 55%, 56% in that time period, maybe even more. That's including a big dip during COVID. That's including the slowdown in 2022, right? We saw the S&P fall in 2022. Quite a bit. Large number of stocks they were terrible last year, right? So, just think about that. If you had just stayed invested all that time, how much money, right? And how many free cup of coffees could you afford? That example, I brought this up. I thought we should do the podcast because I think a lot of people don't think like that, sadly. And so they're staying on the sidelines and they're not benefiting. They're not reaping the benefits of this great country we live in, right? And this amazing economy. Look at this economy, how resilient this economy is in light of the challenges that we faced. We came out of COVID and the economy just boomed and it's doing great. And now you're starting to see supply chain problems easing. And demand is robust. The consumer is so resilient. The U.S. economy is really, really something to behold. And it's sad that many people are on the sidelines, not invested in reaping the benefits that are out there.
Great thoughts as always. Fun to talk with you about things that are sort of a little bit in the weeds, maybe, or actually right in front of us that we don't necessarily see. For Orphe Divounguy, this has been Chris Krug. Subscribe to Everyday Economics and dozens of other quality podcasts at americastalking.com.